everyone, happy Monday. Stepping up on here because I said I'll be back on Monday to go over a few different things. I want to start with wearing my lucky hat. My kids got this for me last year when I first started search and rescue as my good luck token to bring kids home. So this was a part of my Mother's Day gift from them. I want to start with I was planning to go into search and rescue more today, but God had other things in store for today. So I have to go with, how He's propelling me to go. I have to go where I'm led to go. And being led to go there, I am going to speak about 4 different cases. We were in contact with 4 different young men that are unfortunately no longer with us, that went missing and have been located, but their cases are unsolved. So I want to highlight them today before I go more into Hear Their Voices. As you can see, I have my Hear Their Voices shirt on, and who Kay is and why Kay does what she does. So before I do those things, I want to speak to you guys about these 4 missing boys. And I'm going to share their pictures, their information, the links to their cases, so that we can keep their names alive, so that we can help bring justice to these families. So I appreciate everybody that tunes in. But I want to start with Javon Bailey. Javon went missing April 14th of 2022 from Painter, Virginia, Accomack County, Virginia. He was 18 when he went missing. It was 2 weeks before his 19th birthday that he went missing, and his cousin picked him up to hang out from his dad's house, and he was never seen again. Unfortunately, the cousin never gave information as to who picked Javon up, or he, never communicated or worked with the police to try to figure out what happened to Javon. So, Javon went missing April 14th, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning. His mom could no longer get in contact with him. She found his jacket 2 days later on the side of the road. We began to follow the case about in April, but we didn't fully get active until August. August, we had our first community search where we went out there and had a few people come out, and we searched for Javon through the woods and in the surrounding area. We also continued to go out about probably about 40 different times since then with the dogs and all, but we had no set location of where to go. Javon's remains were located January 9th, 2023. He was about a mile from where he went missing from. 1 mile, guys. And for those who know search and rescue, police, that 1 mile radius should be like the first place check. That 1 mile in every direction should be the first places checked. Unfortunately, Javon was about 15 feet from the road. 15 feet. We put a solar light there so that to mark where he was located, and you could see it from the road. And it sadly, Javon had just had a baby girl who turned 1 in August. He missed his first Father's Day. He missed his 19th birthday, the holidays, everything, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of those came and went, but no Javon. When Javon was located, he had been out in the wilderness for so long that, of course, there was not much left. So even though he was able to have a beautiful memorial service, there has been no justice. Since Javon went missing, the cousin he was last seen with was murdered in October. And outside of that, there's been no more information, no more, nothing else evolving in the case. So please, I'm going to share the information. I'm going to put the phone numbers up. I'm going to put our number up as well. If you've seen or know or heard anything about Javon Bailey missing, please share. Please share. Because it's not just enough to locate them and bring them home, which is a big thing because there's so many that haven't been brought home. We still want justice for Javon. So, guys, the next child, Ronnie Jerome Everette. Ronnie Everette, 17 years old, Franklin, Virginia. Ronnie went missing on October 27th. He got dropped off at a basketball court to hang out, play ball, and was never seen again. Ronnie was not located until October 31st. He was located not even a mile from the basketball court, really probably a half a mile from the basketball court, on the side of houses near woods where he had been murdered. 17 years old. You drop your son off to go play basketball to never see him again. That is becoming a reality to so many parents, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I always say that every mother that I meet along this journey, even though they're all different stories, different backgrounds, they develop the same look. I don't know where my kids are. I don't know where my child is. What happened to my child? The tired, they wear it all on their face. It is a look that I can't even explain to you all because it's so heart-wrenching. It just grabs your soul. So Ronnie was located October 31st. There has been no updates in Ronnie's case. There's been no justice brought to Ronnie's case, sadly. From what I've seen, he seemed like a nice young man. I mean, at 17, 18, 19, 20, all of these kids are in their prime. They're all in their prime. I seen a post that said Malcolm X would be in jail for, this, that, and for abuse and this and that if he was arrested at 20, or if he died at 20 years old. That would be all we knew him for. We can't judge people off of what they do at 20 years old because by God's grace and mercy, at 20 years old, the things you do, you're able to repent from, you're able to grow from, you're able to move from. But somebody cuts those lives short. Somebody takes those people away. And they're never given that opportunity that we should all be given to find the love of God, to grow from the mistakes we made, to move on from whatever lifestyle we learned at 15, 16, 17, and it's a sad situation because we're really killing our future. God may have had something in store for them that may have affected you, the person who took their life. They may have helped you down the road somewhere with something major, but you prevented the whole world from ever feeling what that child was bringing to the world, what that child was going to offer to the table. And that is not something that we can continue to just tolerate. It's so sad. So if anybody knows anything, any update, any information, which I'm sure people do, I'm sure people know, please reach out to Franklin Police Department or hear their voices. If you don't feel comfortable speaking to the police, we take messages. If you want to remain anonymous, contact me. My number will be in the bottom. Contact me and let me know, and I'll get everything to where it needs to go. But don't be afraid to speak up because this could be your family. It could be my family. It could be the next person's family, but it is someone's family. Guys, the next one is Sion Carroll. Sion went missing from Lundberg, Virginia. Sion is they're all sad. They've all grabbed my heart in different ways. Sion went missing from Lombard, Virginia, November 2nd, 2022. Sion's cell phone last pinged from the location of a sex offender. When the family tried to get the police to get a search warrant on the address that the phone last pinged from, the police informed the family that it had been too long to get a search warrant, even though Sion was reported missing within the first 24 hours. Javon Bailey's mother went through the same thing. Javon had been missing for 24 hours, within 24 hours when she reported him missing. Yet they wouldn't get a search warrant for his last known address because they said too much time had passed to get the search warrant. With Sion, his family began to put together search parties to bring him home to see if they could locate him. Sion was located, I want to say November 12th, Sion was located. However, it wasn't until December that Sion's mother was informed how gruesome her son's death was. 17 years old. 17 years old, Sion was shot in the head and in the back, in the spine. Sion was dismembered. Sion had lye sprinkled on him so that his body didn't smell. He was cemented in a shallow grave in Lombard, Virginia, 3/4 of a mile from the sex offender house where his phone last pinged. This is so unacceptable that nothing's been done yet, that there are no answers for this family. Dismembered, shot twice, cemented. See, people are out burying our children, never to be seen again, leaving our children, dumping them in woods, never to be seen again. Something has to give. Some point, somewhere, something has to give. And this family has no answers. No answers as to what happened to Sion. So I'm asking anybody who knows anything about Sion Carroll, please reach out. Please get answers for this family. 17 years old. Whoever committed this crime, it was not their first. And because it will be no justice at this point, it will not be their last. So we have to do better. We have to do way better. Because the fact that somebody feels like they can not only kill our children, but dispose of them in a way that we no longer see them, that we don't get the closure of burying them, that we don't get the closure of knowing where our kid is, that every morning for months, parents wake up not knowing where their child is. For years, parents wake up not knowing where their child is. And then you go from that reality to not knowing where your child is to your child being located, but they're located deceased. So you go from one stage of grief and the world pounds you into the next stage of grief. This can't be it. This can't be what we tolerate, what we accept for our children's faith. It just can't be it. There has to be a better option. And we have to stand together in solidarity, not just for these parents, but every parent in this situation. And that is why I'm here, to highlight these situations, because for a lot of people, it's an out of sight, out of mind situation. As long as it's not at your front door knocking, you don't realize what's really going on. The next one is a little bit more personal for me because it's my cousin, Marcus Johnson. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Marcus because he was a distant cousin. Marcus went missing at 19 years old on November 16th. November 16th, 19 years old. Marcus had a up-and-coming appointment for his ASVAB. Oh, matter of fact, he had already passed his ASVAB, and he was enrolling and doing all his paperwork to go into the Army. That was cut short. Marcus didn't make it to the Army to make a difference, to fight for us. So now we have to fight for him. Marcus was located December 21st under a tarp about 20 miles from where he went missing. He was dumped along the woods 20 miles from where he went missing. Marcus suffered multiple gunshot wounds, and dumped. This is our future. These children are our future. If at this rate, no one's making it to the future, who will be our future? What will our future hold if no one makes it there? If our children don't make it there? So, Hear Their Voices, which is my organization, co-founded with Amber Blankenship. We are two women, two moms, boots on the ground, through the woods, through the cold, through the weather, through dangerous situations, through whatever it is, bringing children home. But we lack community support. We lack support of our peers, of people who should be invested into what we do. We lack that support, guys. We're not a non-profit yet, but we're in the process of becoming one. So we don't get donations. We don't get help. Most of what we've done has been out of pocket and has been through donations of the local community. We need people to step in this fight with us. This fight is real. And it doesn't get even more real till it knocks at your door. Because there's really nothing that sets your child apart from the children we search for every day. And this is just 4 of them. This is just 4 unsolved returns that I wanted to highlight. But there's many more, as you'll see as time progresses. And I'll go deeper into Hear Their Voices and what we do and why we became Hear Their Voices at a later date, which was actually going to come today, but God said this was more important today. So I just wanted to get it out there. If you guys know anything about these children, about their demise and who took them, please reach out to the proper authorities, reach out to their parents, reach out to us if you don't feel comfortable reaching out to anybody else. My information is always available. If you're going through similar and you want to reach out and talk about your own child who's missing, who hasn't been located, if you need help to know where to go from there or what's going on with your own situation, please do, because I'm here, wholeheartedly here. My assignment says I'm standing in this gap, and we always say that. We're standing in the gap between community and police. Hear Their Voices is right in the middle. And while we're searching for people, we remain in the middle of that gap. But when we locate people, we remove ourselves from that gap and we stand with those parents, those mothers, those parents whose children have been missing and now found deceased, who have to plan funerals. But they don't have a village that stands beside them. Or sometimes the village that stands beside you isn't enough. So we embrace the entire village and add to it once that happens. So I hope you guys got proper information. I hope you learned more about who we are, who I am, and what I do. And I hope you learned about these 4 young men. One who was going to the Army, one who had just became a father, one who was 17 in the prime, 2 who were 17 in the prime of their lives. Prime of their lives, still in high school. And lives cut short. not just cut short, but disposed of in ways that they couldn't even be found right away. Why? Why is all I can ask. But I will say one thing. With the grace of God, they're no longer out there. But God, you wanted them left out there. You wanted them left unfound, unsolved. Nobody even acknowledging that they actually were missing because they were old enough to go missing, or because we don't put enough attention on little black boys going missing, even though they're not little in everybody's eyes. They're still little to me because my son is around their age. We have to do better as a person, as a community, as an organization, as the way we search for these missing people, the way we tolerate this whole process. We have to do better because the numbers of missing kids is doubling. It's doubling. People are taking our children and the numbers are doubling. And they're not being found. So please continue to follow, like, share, subscribe. Check in with your girl because I'm going to be here. And if you do need me or us or hear their voices in any way, please just reach out. I never deny anyone the opportunity of reaching out. Thank you guys, and continue. If you pray for these families, pray for these children, pray for these families, and pray for all of our children when you pray for your own, because there's a spiritual warfare that is aimed on taking our children out of here. Our children fight battles every day that we don't even know they're fighting. Our children walk into battlefields every day that we don't even know they're battling. So let's come together a little bit more. Let's continue to put villages back into communities so that we can grow differently from here on out, so that the same mistakes don't continue to repeat, so that we break generational curses and make changes. Until next time, I look forward to hearing from anybody. Please respond, share, like, comment, and have a great rest of your day.